So, our next review of the day is going to be for the film The Brutalist. The Brutalist, I saw the film. Dust did not get a chance to see it. Neither did Nick there. But this is directed by Brandy Corbett there. And this is starring Adrian Brody. And I guess after all those years, he won those Oscars for The Pianist. He was like, man, I got to play a Jewish guy again. The Oscars ain't been thinking about me since I have played a Jewish guy. So I'm going to do that again. And this one, he plays a visionary architect there. The reason why the movie is called The Brutalist is because his style of architecture is very like brutalist, is very kind of that look to it, has that kind of look. And he plays a Jewish man who flees from Europe there in 1947 during the era of the Holocaust. And he gets split up from his families there when they're freed from the concentration camps, going to America. He gets separated from them. And so this movie takes place in kind of three major parts there of it. You have kind of the overture of it, then you have the part one, part two, then the epilogue of the film. So it takes place in these chunks of the film. And this film, many people probably, if they have heard about the film The Brutalist, then they've heard how long it is. I mean, this movie's 3.5 hours. This movie does have intermission. It has a 15-minute intermission in it. So, you can get up from your chair, stretch, you know what I mean, and do all that stuff, get some more snacks at the, stands if you want, there to kind of, and then go back and then watch the rest of the movie. Um, and so it's kind of a lot of part of it details his life there, moving to America. Him he's going with his cousin there, who his cousin in this is played by Alessandro Novella, who plays Alita there, Adalia there. And then he has this furniture business, and then through that furniture business he meets Guy Ritchie's character, who Guy Ritchie, I mean, I said Guy Ritchie, I'm sorry, Guy Pearce, my bad. He meets Guy Pearce there, who is up for Best Supporting Actor right now at the Oscars. Him and Adrian Brody. Adrian Brody's up for Best Leading Actor there, and then he's up for Best Supporting. And both are very good. Both are very good in this film. Guy Pearce, who plays this very rich, wealthy man, who kind of takes on Adrian Brody's character. And hey, it's like, hey, I got this special project for you. You did such an amazing job with this library. At first, he wasn't very happy about it, like what he did to his study, his library. But once he starts getting all these compliments and people start praising it, he's like, "Hey, I'll get this guy back and create this special project for me in memory of my dead mother." I think it was his dead mother.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, this kind of will remind you a little bit of how older films kind of used to be, the epic nature of it, the saga nature of it, the way it's kind of told and fleshed out there in these kind of different parts of the movie, which I did very much appreciate. Is people say like, but it's 3.5 hours. Do I really want to go see a movie that's 3.5 hours? I mean, I saw Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, it just depends on the actual story and if it is interesting and what you do have going on in it. I think it is. This is a very interesting film. I think it has a lot going for it. I think it has great performances in it. I think it's got great writing in it. It is kind of where the movie goes, does keep you interested all the way through, at least on my part there. What Adrian Brody does. I know there's some criticism of this movie. I think I haven't looked too deeply into it, but from what I understand, there was some AI used there, especially to enhance Adrian Brody's Hungarian accent in this. So that's kind
Mm.
of sparked up some debate on whether or not. Have you heard anything about that? As
No,
far as
not at all.
okay, there's some talk about that there's some AI that got used to enhance his Hungarian accent, and that's kind of
Mm.
sparked some bit of controversy there with that. So yeah, so there's that issue there with this film, but I do think that yeah, he is really good in this. And Adrian Brody's always typically good in a lot of performances he plays there. I'm thinking that he will probably win for best actor. I think this movie will probably win for best picture. It just seems like one of those locks for best picture there. This is type of movie that the Academy would love to kind of give an award to, and it wouldn't be undeserving of that if it did win. It wouldn't be something like Amelia Perez or something
Oh
like that,
yeah.
if that did that with it. But yeah, I mean, seeing just Adrian Brody and Guy Pearce bounce off each other because it's kind of majority of them bouncing off each other there. You have a great supporting cast as well, but it's really them that's bouncing off each other and how they kind of conflict with each other. And you see over time how much the Guy Pearce character kind of grows resentful of Adrian Brody's character, which was Laszlo is Adrian Brody's name, Laszlo. And then Guy Pearce plays Harrison. So you see that kind of develop of this guy who has all this money, has all this wealth, is kind of jealous of this guy because he is such this visionary and genius in this way, and his the way he's able to do these things and plan all these things out. Felicity Jones, who plays his wife in this, she comes in, but she doesn't come until later in the movie when she
Mhm.
finally is reunited with him in this, and that's like an hour or yeah, about an hour, I think probably is left in the movie when she comes in, and she fills in. She does a really good job, in this as well. I think she's also nominated, I wanna say, for Best Actress, I wanna say, and, she's also pretty good, in the film and does really nicely in it. But yeah, I mean, this was a strong movie. I mean, strong movie, lot of really kinda going on in it, and like I said, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see this winning for Best Picture, in it. So for me, I would give it a strong tune in, bordering on a peak there for me. Are you gonna watch this movie yourself?
Eventually, I get to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, people have probably heard a lot of amazing things about it. Yeah, so a lot of the things you heard, probably true about the Brutalist there. And we actually see his buildings and see everything, they do look really good. The architecture of them, we actually do see all that stuff. And, like, what he does with the study, the library there, what he does it for Guy Pearce does look really great, and does look really amazing there. So yeah, strong tune in for The Brutalist.